Here's Tashi. Tashi's in the movie. Yeah. You're in the movie. Hey, no fight. No fight. No fight. He's not in the. Oh, okay. Just wondered. Okay. See you soon. Bye.
Sure. Hello.
Hello.
There we
It's
go.
recording.
It's recording. Yes. Apparently, I'm just trying to find a thing for my hair. Nope. Okay. Interesting. How are you?
I'm good.
There we go.
I'm as good as I can be today.
Ooh, perfect. That's all we can do. There we go. Almost workable. Cool. Hi.
Good morning. You're having a bit of chaos there this morning.
Just your average Saturday. So, yep.
I see. Okay.
Yep. Okay. Here we are.
Good. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go somewhere, David.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, breathe.
Yeah, might be a good idea.
So do you arrive with questions or comments?
No, no, probably still trying to acclimate my brain to here and now.
Where you
Oh,
are? Okay.
Yeah, but no,
All right.
good question.
I, as I often do, I went over the video of the last class. And in the course of the day, I have a couple of things I want to touch on.
Okay.
One is basically Cloud Hands is looking quite good.
Cool.
I felt like you were getting the coordination and the roundness. That looked really good. I wanted you to begin to think about the bending and stretching.
Okay.
So let me see. I think I can just, maybe I'll just do it on this camera. Let's see. So my sense as I was watching you was that basically this was what you were doing, and that's fine. That, in fact, that's good. You were definitely getting things together.
Mm-hmm.
Is really important to begin to be aware of is that at the same time, your arms are bending and extending or stretching, and everything is bending. So when you've stretched out here to the side and you come back, everything is bending until you get to center. And then everything is extending as you send the energy down. And then bending. And fortunately, in Cloud Hands, both arms are doing the same thing at the same time in terms of bending and extending or stretching, so that they're extended at this point and then bent in to here and extended out and bent back in.
Okay.
One of the critical things, of course, in bending and stretching, and we're going to work some more on this today, is that position of the elbow, because it's very easy when you go to bend that you let the elbow collapse, and I've just lost the connection to the scapula and spine. So the elbow has to maintain that connection all the way through every single part, never losing that connection to the scapula and spine.
Okay.
You have a question about that at all?
No, I think it makes sense.
You want to try it?
Sure. Sure.
Remember not to overturn your shoulders.
My favorite thing to do.
Yeah, it does. You do kind of like to do that. So what I have to make a comment that as soon as you started concentrating on bending and stretching, the rest of the movement got confused.
Yes, it did. Sure did. Yeah. No, yeah.
So, and that's typical. That's exactly what happens to us all. So, really working just on adding this one element in there.
Right.
So I don't think it's a hard one to understand.
No.
The big thing is the connection of the elbow, and we're going to work on that in a minute. So,
Okay. Yeah.
If you don't have any other questions about that, I'm just going to let that go for now and let you work on it.
Yeah. I don't think so. I just I assume the legs are doing the same thing.
No, they're not.
No, they're not. Good thing I assumed it. Okay.
That's the interesting thing is and it's let me just say, despite the fact that I will talk about what's happening with the legs, you should just focus on the arms to begin with. And then when that's clear and comfortable and not causing confusion in the rest of your movement, then go to the legs. But what happens with the legs? Oh, yes, let me just switch to the Logitech.
There we go.
So what's happening with the legs is that actually they're alternating.
Okay.
But not in the same rhythm that your arms are. So when you go to the side here, this leg has extended, this leg has bent.
Okay.
And as you come back, you're making the transition to the other side where this leg has extended and this leg is bent. So
that makes sense.
It makes sense. It's just you have to let go of trying to think of the legs and the arms doing identical things.
Right.
They're working together, absolutely, but not doing the same thing. Okay. So you all right with that?
Yeah. Because I'm trying to think about bending and stretching without going like this.
Yes. That's right. Because you're not.
Right. And I'm like, well, like it because it feels like it's very easy to be like, oh, I'm bending my leg and I'm really just collapsing my structure. So that's fun. But nope, I don't. It makes
you don't want to do that.
I'm like, yeah, cool idea. Basically, I we'll find out.
Well, so part of that, of course, is that you need to be aware of maintaining your base level. That you're not if you're standing up fully straight in the center, then you are going to sink to the side.
Right. Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah. Right.
So you don't want to do, but you want everything to be exactly on the same level here.
Right.
So the bending is occurring, but it's not, the legs and the arms are not synchronous,
Yeah.
but they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Energetically, they are. Movement wise, physically, no.
I'm gonna let that one slide because I would have described it the other way. Um, um, what am I trying to say? It's weird because this feels weird where I and maybe that's why, because like remember that conversation where like I always thought about it like pushing away from the leg you're moving away from,
Mhm.
and you're like no, pick it up and like put it in the other one.
Yeah,
Okay, but now well I maybe it works because like I'm extending the leg I'm picking it up from, but
yep.
when I think of bending in the arm, I think of like I'm drawing it in, but I'm not. I guess I am. Cool, it worked out. Okay. Oh no, because the leg I'm moving away from is extending out, but I have to pick it up to kind of put it down, right?
So
Weird.
um, what happens here is going into opening and closing, which we haven't really touched on.
Right. Okay.
So the interesting thing about that is that you can open or close a stretch or a bend.
Okay.
So it's not, it would be nice from a nice Western organized viewpoint, but
Right.
that ain't the way it works.
Got
It's whatever it needs to be in order to move the energy continuously and smoothly throughout the entire body.
Okay. Cool. I can roll with that.
Okay. Um, yeah, it
Okay.
goes on and on.
I'm sure. I'm sure. I'm sure. Then after that, there's just another thing that you can put in there.
Yep. Yep. My favorite line, you can't learn everything you need to learn in one lifetime.
Yeah.
So let's go on here.
Sure.
So the first swing is relatively easier than the next two because you're not engaging the legs as much. So I want you to do a very, what I hope is a very simple exercise. And the object is to connect eventually your knees to your spine. And eventually it's going to be your whole leg from your foot to the top of your hip. But you can't start with your whole leg because it is a very difficult thing to keep track of, your entire leg and your spine at the same time. It might seem intellectually to be an easy thing to do, but it's not neurologically easy to do. So sometimes doing Tai Chi helps us to understand it, but not necessarily. So what I want you to do is to stand in your basic structure and to bring your arms up into that position with the elbows lined up with the sidelines and the hands forward, about chest height to begin with. And begin to feel what it's like for your elbows to connect back to the scapula. And then see if you can also feel it go right on back to your spine. And sometimes doing a little pulsing in and out can help, or simply moving the hands up and down can help you get a sense of feeling that. You want them to stay attached to your spine. This is, of course, very basic in Tai Chi and also in cloud hands. So you're just trying to find that there is a certain place where if you don't pull out far enough, you don't connect to your spine, but if you push it out too much, you also lose touch with your spine. So you want just that nice, easy place where you really feel the elbows connecting to the spine. Because you have to have this in order to do all three of the swings. So yes, just lower your hands and elbows of maybe an inch. Don't go way down, but just lower them a little bit. And see if you can feel that connection to the spine. We start connecting the elbows to the spine, but we want to eventually connect the knees to your spine. But it's a lot easier to do the elbows than it is the knees. But now move your elbows down another inch. Feel your elbows connecting to your spine, roughly in the middle of your spine, ideally. As you're doing this, I want you to do something very clearly. I want you just to feel what it feels like that your elbows can connect to your spine. It's a physical pressure. No metaphor for it. It's not a visualization. You just want to feel the physical pressure. And let your elbows and your hands move down to somewhere between your solar plexus and your belly button. And feel it lower down in your back and spine. So we're in the region roughly of your lower ribs. You need to feel what that part of your spine feels like. You're going to have your legs connect to your spine. You're not going to be able to do it unless you can feel your legs connecting to your spine. Otherwise, how would you know that you're doing it? The only mechanism you have to know if you're doing it is what you feel like. There is no other mechanism. Now have your hands go a little bit lower. So now we're going into the lower spine. And this is an area called in Chinese Mingmen. Remember, it's right behind your lower dantian, but in the back. Feel that area. Then go a little bit lower. So you start feeling a little below your lower dantian, but on the spine, below your belly button. Feel your elbows connecting now with your tailbone and your sacrum. This is what Bruce calls your magic zone. This is what your knees have to connect to ideally. You're going to connect to the spine at the height of the top of your ribs eventually, but at least it needs to connect to L5, which is your main weight supporting vertebra, which most people don't really feel. Really feel that you can know that spot. This is what your knees are going to have to connect to. With a felt pressure, if you're going to have a good shot of moving your legs correctly in the second and third swings. This area is a big point of disconnection. Now just let your arms relax. I'm going to ask you to do something very specifically for 2 minutes. Don't talk. I want you just to walk around and concentrate on one thing while you're walking. You should just have some experience from L5 and Mingmen down to your tailbone. Just recognize the fact that you're connecting to that area. Just walk quietly, head straight like you do in Tai Chi or Qigong. So you can pause and relax. So, could you feel your spine?
Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. It was higher up. It was at some point, maybe somewhere in the middle. There was an interesting difference between how it felt the connection was happening, where the lower the arms got, the more very clearly it had to go up through the shoulder, um, into the spine and then like down.
Uh-huh.
Because like
Cool.
at first, yeah, I was like, oh yeah, it's connected, and then like some point it like kind of snapped, and I was like, oh, no, it's got to go through. It has to go through the shoulder. So so that was an interesting moment.
Good.
Yeah.
So, when we do the first swing, as you know, and think about the first swing is it's looks much easier than it really is. It just turns from side to side. And so does that happen easily? So understand that in your pelvis, you have a giant muscle called the iliopsoas muscle. We talked about that before.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yep. It's connected to your thigh and to your spine. You also have the way your spine connects to your thigh through the muscles on the inside, which are called the adductors. And both of these effectively are inside your body, not on the skin. It's what's actually inside the bowl of your pelvis. These muscles need to move in the direction you're turning. You're trying to turn your body. Otherwise, these muscles will, instead of giving your spine more space, will take the space away from it, and they actually will cause strain in it. So we've talked about, I was thinking that we had talked about the iliopsoas before. It actually connects in the lumbar part of the spine, goes down actually through the pelvis and ends up connecting at the inside of the knee. And so it is a really important muscle in relation to all of that movement. So there's no other way to make that movement without having that muscle move. If it doesn't move, then you can't make that rotating hip action. So you want to make this muscle very soft. Virtually any lower back problem within the body will have some involvement with the iliopsoas. There's no real exception to that. So you're going to be swinging back and forth constantly while keeping the 4 points of your body together. And that's really important, Andrew.
Hey.
There is more to it, but we need to get that part first. So just do a little bit of the first swing as you understand it, and go from side to side and attempt to keep those 4 points together.
All right.
Well, it definitely looks to me like you're turning your shoulders more than your hips.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a little hard to see because I can't see your hips well, but
Yeah. Can I move this maybe? I don't know, maybe that'll help if it stays. I don't think that. Yeah. Nope.
well, it's better.
Yeah, it's a little better. It's gonna fall. I've done it now.
No falling.
No falling.
There you are.
Yes, I put this here. Yeah. Okay. How's that?
Good.
Okay. I can't see myself anymore. So
Oh, well, that's probably just as well.
yeah.
You'll be on the video, never mind. You can look at it later.
Okay. Oh, I'm very sorry that I need to move the blanket. Okay.
So where are you originating that movement from?
I'm trying to do it from here. I think I'm doing it from there. Am I not?
It looks higher,
It looks higher. Okay.
which is part of why your shoulders move more than your hips. Are you shifting your weight?
Not yet. Now I can't.
That'll help. So that's better, Andrew.
Okay. I don't know how it got better.
Your shoulders have, well, it's really interesting. Your shoulders, every once in a while, it's like your arms take over the movement and they pull your shoulders around. And yeah, there you go. That's better. Uh-huh. But you also have to keep the shifting going too.
Yeah.
You have a question there?
I think so. I don't know it yet though.
Okay.
Um, I yeah, no. It just feels like sometimes I end up going like, no, I'm exaggerating.
Uh-huh.
Like that. Which I assume is wrong.
Yep.
Like, yeah.
Just none of the swings are leaning either backward, forward, or sideways. Your arms just relaxed a little.
Yeah.
That was good. Okay.
Any
So
better?
better. Yep. So we need to be aware of what's happening underneath your perineum. because everything has to do with what's happening with your legs. And everything in between your legs is causing the pressure that eventually gets to your spine. So it's a package deal. The term for this area in Chinese is dong. We've talked about the dong before, I think so.
Mhm.
And often in the West, it's ignored. So, let me switch back here. Oh, it's not what I wanted.
Oh, did I lose it? No, there we go.
What?
You're good. You're good.
Oh. So often, I'm going to see if I can do this.
Okay.
When we see people beginning to do the swing, the first swing, there are all kinds of things that are going on. I see people doing things like this, where obviously they're moving their arms.
Right.
Don't want to do, or they're shifting the weight the wrong way,
Right.
or they're shifting and holding, which actually shows up in another swing, but is not present in this one. So we want to try to be really careful that we keep the 4 points together, that you fully relax the arms. And one way sometimes to really feel that rhythm and the presence of the iliopsoas is to put a hand in the qua, in that inguinal crease, because actually, as you go here, this muscle pulls up, and as you go here, it goes down. So really beginning to be aware of the movement of the iliopsoas, and sometimes just doing that for a moment can help you increase your awareness of that. It's actually easier or more effective to have somebody else do it to you, but you can do it yourself. So it's not just that your pelvis moves, but your pelvis has to stay connected all the way up from your qua to your shoulders nest, so that those 4 points stay together. You're trying to get the qua to move easily, because if it doesn't, as soon as you start doing the first swing, your body is going to fly off all over the place. And you have to get to where this folding of the qua is always happening. And I think you're aware of that.
Yeah. Good to good to revisit it though.
Yeah.
I wonder, you know, I always wonder how many basics that I just am like, like, oh, I know that.
Yeah.
But,
Well, it's good to take even just a few minutes to check in again and make sure you do.
yeah, right.
Yeah. So the major point I want you to get here, right at this moment, is keeping all the parts together. If you turn from the top of the human body, then the bottom will fly all over the place. So you need to have everything from the top of your body follow the bottom as you turn it. So really thinking about it, the bottom being the leader.
Yeah.
Mhm. You know, part of the 4 points is having the shoulders and the hips move absolutely together. You have a little tendency for the shoulders to initiate the movement.
I'm gonna go really slow.
The bottom moves the top. This is a simple point. Your legs move your hips move the top, and the whole point is to get your legs and your waist to become one unit, and the top moves with it.
Would it be just as bad if the top lagged?
Yes.
Okay.
So I think one of the things is that I might suggest is maybe to slow down a little. I understand slowing down too much forces it into something else, but
Right.
not worrying about where the hands are tapping at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Let me get, I don't know how to describe it. It's like the side that is closing wants like my like my butt, the glute, whatever. I don't know any of the muscles in the body, David.
Yeah.
It's like it wants to go like this. Like as I churn,
Yeah.
like that wants to pull up. And it feels wrong.
That's right. So okay. I think that what I would say is that sounds to me like your iliopsoas is tight. You need a massage therapist to go into your abdomen rather deeply and release the iliopsoas.
That sounds like
not the greatest feeling, but it can be very, very beneficial in the long run.
I was gonna say, like, why not? There's a lot of me between the front of me and the back of me.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's where you can get to it.
Gotcha.
So I understand in a way what you're saying, because we talked about the fact that as you go like this, the iliopsoas does tend to rotate up.
Mm-hmm.
But or not rotate, but to pull up. Mm-hmm. But what that's doing is causing the quad to open. not the lift. Okay,
Right.
so you know how we talk about how the qua opens and then closes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really the action that is happening here in terms of what's happening right at that point. The muscle is pulling in both directions in order to move you from side to side and to cause that folding open and closed. But it's not causing you to lift the hip to do that.
Right.
But we don't want it to anyway. Did that
Yeah,
help there?
it does. I think if I like really try to feel the opening and closing,
Yeah.
it's really hard. Like I think I actually start using that muscle, and it's like immediately it's like, bro, stop. I've never been used in my life.
You want it to be used, but you want it to be soft.
Yeah, right. Like I'm trying to, because like when I really get a sense of like, okay, I have the four the 4 points, and I'm opening and shutting it, and I'm not over rotating. To do that though, it's a very muscular thing that is happening.
It's funny. It does not matter how far you rotate.
Right.
It matters how you rotate.
Um,
and that's much better, a much smaller rotation rather than trying to go further.
right. It just, I guess like over time, I think I've always like not done it that way because I'm like, well, it's a lot of work and it's supposed to be easy. So, but yeah, like that, I don't feel like, my butt is, I'm not like picking up my hip. And then you said that it connects to like the inside of your thigh.
Actually, it goes and connects just above the knee on the inside of the thigh.
That's the part that's okay. That's kind of, yeah, so that feels, it feels like better in all the parts except for like, I think sitting all the time.
Yeah.
That I am now aware of where that muscle is.
Good.
Okay. That's super interesting.
Well, it is, and getting all of this, and there's more in the first swing, is really critical before you go into the second or the third.
Right.
So that's as far as I'm going to go with this today.
Okay.
Because I really don't want to overload you.
Yeah.
And it seems, the first swing seems like it's so simple.
Yeah, just like wiggle your arms, like just turn.
Yeah. So it's like, what do you mean? What? But it really. It really makes a difference to really get this one, all the parts of this one clear and easy. What am I doing here? I cannot. Yep.
I felt a little better, but yeah. No, that makes sense.
Okay. Well, I guess I can't ask for more than that. I can't figure out what I'm doing with my I can't get back to gallery view here for some reason,
Uh,
despite the fact that it says I'm on it.
maybe have you try to like go off on it, you know, go back to whatever the other view's called.
I
And then-
tried.
Okay, well, I'm out of ideas now.
It's not a
Is there like a pin or anything? Sometimes
yeah,
you pin yourself, I think.
I removed the pin on both of us and
And it's totally different on a phone.
yeah, it's all right. It's uh,
You could try to you could like close the call and not reconnect.
well,
Yeah, that'd be kind of goofy.
huh. That's weird. I'm not going to worry about it at the moment. Um, um, what I wanted, what I wanted to do was in the form, just first, I'd like you just to do from the beginning through ward off right.
Okay.
Because it seemed to me that in addition to continuing to learn the new postures in the form, we needed to begin to do some refining before bad habits get built in too much.
Okay.
So if you could just go from the beginning through ward off right.
We'll find out, David.
I'm sure you can, it's that much.
Let's start over.
Sure.
That's not right.
So you're having trouble with that transition from left to right.
Yes, apparently. Yep. No, that's a piece that I've, I know in the past few months, I keep like forgetting how to do it. I don't, it's because you go forward. Yeah. I get it in my head that you have to go backwards. And I don't know why.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm like, it's very awkward because like I kind of just like hop to switch my foot. Yeah,
So
you go forward. Yep.
I'm just trying to think of the best angle. Probably have to do this up here. So if we've gone into ward off left,
Yeah.
and as you shift forward, the arms are bending in, and you just shift to 100%, and then you're going to close that left quad a little and reset the right foot in the appropriate position. And then you sink into it and rotate, rising with a twist step, and the left arm pulls back from the left in the latter part of the movement.
Okay. I mean,
so just start from ward off left.
Yeah.
And shift forward, the arms equalize, rotate and step with the right foot, shift forward to your dynamic limit, and then rotate, rising with a twist step into ward off right.
Shit.
It's can you tilt your camera down a little?
Sure. Try. Am I still there?
Yeah.
Okay. I've managed to leave the meeting though. Hold on. Is that any better?
Yes.
Okay.
So wait a minute, why are you turning left?
I don't know.
There is no turn to the left.
That makes sense.
Shift forward and turn right.
That makes way more sense, David.
Okay, so then, good, we got the step. But after you've made that step, so you've made that step, the next part of that movement is shifting forward to your dynamic limit, which is not going to be very far. If you put that out in an empty step, then it's only until the knee is above the ankle. So it's not very far, but there is a definite movement forward. And then from that point, you rotate and rise to ward off right. All the way through.
Okay.
Better.
Better. Not good.
Drop your left elbow.
Right.
Because the idea is not to cock the wrist, but to
Right.
drop the elbow so that the wrist is straight.
That makes sense.
Okay. Questions about that?
What the hell is my body doing?
Oh,
No.
really find your center on the left foot when you shift forward. Yep.
That's almost okay.
That was better. I think part of the problem is that when you shift forward, you're letting the arms come up. Remember that the yeah, that's better.
Yeah. Okay. I'm also not lowering my left hand.
Yeah.
In this shift, am I allowed to do that? No, right?
Do what?
Make
No.
my hand. No.
No.
That makes sense. So this should be lower. And this is like down, right? And then up. Kind of like shoop.
Let's see.
Maybe not that much.
I'm gonna
Start low and only go up. Sorry, or does it just start low and only go up?
yeah, so the hands are kind of at solar plexus level at the point at which you come onto the left foot.
Oh,
They stay there at that level.
okay.
Okay, they're not up here already
Yep.
because part of this movement is coming up and out here.
That okay, it's a huge difference. Okay. No. Shit. I'm here. Crazy.
Definitely better.
Yep.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah. Okay.
So now do that once more, but continue on through push.
Sure. Wow.
Okay. So when you arrive at Wardolph Right, that first movement, the weight stays forward and the arms continue to extend out. And notice that they do rotate. They both have a little rotation.
Okay.
And then you rotate back, bending in from here to here. Your weight is still 60% on the right foot. Then there is a drop. It's a relaxation. And you turn, and that positions the two arms. And then you have the same circle back and down and up that you have in push and on. Here, everything is bending in, and it's very subtle, so that when you come up, it's extending out, and it's small. It is subtle, but
Okay.
that circle is also there. And you're working towards round, as Master Joe said, rounding all the corners. So getting everything to occur through there, but in a fluid manner.
Right.
And then with push, your first outward movement is as you go down in back, and the second one is as you come up in front. There is no retreating movement in that. Okay, so you're at press, and it's push down, push down.
Oh.
There's no backward movement in that.
Huh. Okay. So it's just a really little circle.
Yeah,
Oh.
it doesn't have to be big.
Oh, I've always been like, woohoo.
You can make it that big if you want to, but you don't have to.
Gotcha. Oh, that was weird, but down. Yeah, that's so much different than how I've ever done it.
Well, as far as on is concerned, I find everybody, it takes quite a while to get that.
So when you're done with this, your weight should still be on that front foot. 60.
Well, it comes back to the front foot, yes.
Right.
Back foot, front foot. But don't go backwards.
Front foot. Back foot. Front foot.
Yeah.
Okay. Then bending, relaxing. There's a circle here.
Yep.
Get everything aligned.
Yep.
Wowza. Feels like flossing my teeth.
That may be good.
Whoa. Whoa.
So I should look at the videos more often than I think I do, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, if I tell you everything's fine, that's an indication that you should probably go look at it.
Well, kind of always the case.
Yep.
So
Yep. Okay.
if you don't have other questions, I'm going to stop there.
Okay. No, I mean, what was it with? Yeah, no, that makes sense. It all makes sense. This step feels like super uncomfortable. This twist step. It's like very like, I don't know what's different about it than like this twist step. I'm like, okay, I know that wasn't right, but like it, because I feel like I have a lot of weight on that foot.
You do.
Okay, so that's like a
It's a difficult step, yes.
Okay, as long as it's like, yes, it's supposed to feel different because there's more weight on it.
It will feel different. It kind of depends how long a step you take.
I keep running into a bed. Maybe that's my problem.
Well, that could cause a problem, absolutely.
No, it's still just like,
It's different partially because you're rising.
okay.
That's involved in it too.
Okay.
But also because you're rising and shifting. Well, no, you're not shifting, just rising and rotating. It makes it feel different. It is different, no question.
Oh, well, so I'm at my dynamic limit. Pretend I know where all my parts are. So this is just a rotation?
No.
Okay.
It is a rotation and rise.
Okay. Well, oh no,
together.
not shifting my weight anymore?
Not really.
Maybe.
Because if you're at your dynamic limit, you're already as far forward as you should be.
Right.
But there.
It's just awkward. It's just awkward no matter what I do. Way. Yeah.
I think it's awkward because you haven't practiced it that way.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, good. I mean, it doesn't hurt or anything, but.
Oh, there you are, sideways.
my left sideways now?
No, you're right side up.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, okay.
Well, you get a little picture of me and you. I don't know. I don't know why I lost my ability to have the gallery view here, but
I don't know.
that's all right.
I'm poking at my phone. Like I'm
No,
gonna somehow fix your.
it's probably something I've done.
Yeah, maybe Zoom can be kind of janky.
Oh, it's got so many different things.
Yeah.
I think that may be a part of it. I don't know.
Right.
I gotta go.
Okay.
So have a great week or two.
Yeah.
Next class is beginning of a new session.
Okay. Just request me on whatever it is there, Venmo.
240.
Okay. You can tell me whatever, and I'll just say yeah. So
That's my price to you.
okay. Thank you. Excellent. All right. I don't want to
All right,
hold you up.
buddy. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.